Hey folks, today we're going to talk about the 1 to 4 player game Sagrada by Floodgate Games. Let's go head down to the table. I'll give you a brief overview and then I'll give you my thoughts. Okay, so for a brief overview of Sagrada, in the game of Sagrada, you're going to go ahead and you're going to start out by looking at these different cards. And they're two-sided, you get two of them. And depending on which one you pick, it determines like how you can place your dice and stuff. So you're going to look at these. You're going to look at how many little dots are on the bottom, because the more dots on there, the more of these favor tokens you get. And you can use the favor tokens for the tools to do things to help you out. Now, you'll also look at these public objectives before you pick your tile. And these public objectives determine like how points are scored at the end of the game. Like in this one, you get the column color variation. So if in your column you have different colors all the way down, you'll get 5 points per column that they're different in. If you get this guy here, this guy states that if you have sets in 5, 6 anywhere on the board, you'll get 2 points each. So that's pretty nice. And this one here, if you get this one here, you're going to get the column shade variation, so columns with no repeat value. So you're going to make sure you don't have 2 1s in a column or 2 3s. So you take a look at that, which are your public objectives, and then you're going to look at these and see like which one you think is going to score you the most. Once you pick yours, you're going to go ahead and look at the bottom again, and so this one has 5. You'll get 5 favor tokens. So go ahead and take 5 of these guys and put them by your board. And you're going to go ahead and slip this thing into the bottom of your player board. And this is going to be nice and notched here. So this is going to let you place your dice on here. And when you start the game, we're going to roll. We're going to take this bag here and we're going to roll 2 times the number of players plus 1. So in a 2-player game, we would roll 5 dice. So I have these 5 dice and I roll them. And what we're going to do is you're going to draft the dice. So if I'm first, I'll take this one, and the next player will the last player gets to pick 2, then it'll come back to me and I pick 1. And when I pick these, I have to put them on my board. So let's say I pick this one, I have to put it on one of the edge pieces where I start from, and it'll go there. And from then on, every time I place a new die, it has to be adjacent to one of my existing dice. So if I pick this purple one, it would have to go here, and so on until I fill out the board, and then I would score. Now, one of the cool things in the beginning of the game too is you get a private objective. And these private objectives, like this one here, for every red dice I have, I add up the die value. So in the game, I'm going to probably want to hunt for more of these red dice to place them out on my board to score those extra points. So I score this, and I'll score the public objectives, and that'll be the score for my game. And at the end of each round, the leftover die that wasn't drafted goes on this board. And sometimes the tool cards up here that you can use with your favor tokens will do stuff with that. These I don't think do right now, but there are some out there. So this one here, if I put one of my favor tokens on there, then I get to re-roll up to 2 dice in my dice pool, in my private dice pool. Well, that's with an expansion. Darn it. That's with expansion. But this is the base game one here. This one I re-roll all dice in the draft pool. This can only be used on your second turn before drafting. So this one's really good with a whole bunch of players, with your 4 players, because when it gets to you, let's say you're the second player, or you're the last player, when it gets to you, you get to pick 2 dice. So you pick your first one, then you can re-roll all the rest and hopefully get something better if you want. Now, if someone's favor token's on this, you have to actually spend more favor tokens. So sometimes it's good to jump on these ones that you want. After the game's over, this board's really cool because it flips over, and you can use your player token, which is going to be this little dot right here, to help tally up your score. And the player with the most points wins. In a nutshell, that is Sagrada. Hey folks, So yeah, Sagrada. I like it a lot. It is a beautiful game. The dice look awesome on your player board. I like how the fact that they're notched in there so they fit perfectly. I like the dice drafting. I like the tools that give you options to like maybe fix some of your mistakes or help with placement to give you more scoring possibilities in the end. There's a couple things with the base game that get off a little bit. One of them is that some of the personal objectives that you get can swing the game a lot. So, like, one of them is just the numbers on your red die faces, and that can add up a lot depending on what you do. So, there's that. I'll say that some of the expansions really do fix it for me, but that's a very mild nitpick on the game. Overall, I do highly recommend Sagrada. It's a great abstract game. It's easy to teach, and it relatively short gameplay. So that's Sagrada. Thanks for watching.